fada ya do, fada do. Choli fada ya do, fada do. Choli fada ya do, ya ivotolia. Ama olo na ya ivotu fada. Ama olo na ya ivotu fada. Kitele, kana we fada do.
The achievements of the Executive Governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Umem Alia, in transforming Benue Subeb within 1 year of Dr. Grace Adagba's stewardship. The Executive Governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Umem Alia, has reshaped the landscape of basic education in the state. The governor's visionary leadership at the basic education sector has witnessed a profound transformation through his strategic direction and unwavering commitment. The Benue State Universal Basic Education Board, Subeb, under the stewardship of the Executive Chairman, Dr. Grace Adagba, has achieved remarkable milestones within just 1 year. These achievements are structured in subsectors as follows: human resource development and welfare. Governor Alia's administration prioritizes the well-being and professional growth of educators, extended retirement dates and approved promotions for teaching staff. Ensured prompt payment of salaries and pensions for teachers and retirees.
The current administration, even before the coming of the minimum wage, the salaries were paid promptly, and that is why we have given our governor a nickname, Mr. 25th. If you go round to the state, you hear that is the popular name that is given to him. It is Mr. 25th. The present administration came in power. The first thing they do, they implemented the promotion being given by teachers from the past administration. Now, as if we stop or the celebrations will finish, the issue of minimum wage came in. This is first of its kind. First of its kind, because during the previous administrations, 2 minimum wage were declared by federal government. One was 18,000 naira minimum wage. The second one was 30,000 naira minimum wage. None of these minimum wage were benefited by primary school teachers. I am being specific because even the whole state, civil servant in state, were not benefited as it is supposed to be. It is now that the federal government even proposed or declared a minimum wage of 70,000 naira. Our amiable governor, Dr. Umem Alia, pronounced and declared his minimum wage as 75,000 naira and is completely and fully paid.
The governor has implemented a minimum wage of 75,000 naira, which has significantly motivated public school teachers, improved their financial stability, and boosted their morale. Approved the recruitment of over 9,000 teachers, a landmark initiative carried out through a transparent and unbiased computer-based test CBT process, the first of its kind in the state.
Let me start by appreciating the Benue State House of Assembly for giving us a nod to go ahead with this. I want to thank the governor so much for releasing funds for us to recruit new teachers, because you know, of course, that without the governor, we cannot do employment. So it's something that we should appreciate the governor very much for it, because for the past years, recruitment has not been done in this sector. As evidence, you can see that in this particular recruitment, we received about 74,000 plus applicants, and we're looking for just 9,700. That is why it's important for us to have this kind of test in the recruitment process for a selection procedure. If we don't do this, it means that whatever selection you are going to do, you're going to be biased. But in the CBT system, it's going to be non-biased. It's going to select the best of hands, and whatever we're doing is transparent. As you can see in the hall yourself, when you finish the exams, your scores are displayed on the system. You see whether you have passed or not. The most interesting thing is that at the end of this CBT, every applicant that has participated, whether you pass or not, you go home with computer knowledge, which is very important because you've added a skill to your already existing skills.
facilitated the training of teachers, early childhood care and development education ECCDE caregivers, and education secretaries to enhance professional standards.
If you go to the public schools now, you will agree with me that starting from the structure, in collaboration with Subeb and you see the quality of facilities being provided. Therefore, the quality of public schools, it is not the same with what you know in some years past.
Consequently, the management of the board has made it mandatory that all functional primary schools have ECCD centers before the commencement of 2024-2025 academic session.
Undertook staff verification, automated the payroll system, and commenced payment of salary arrears for teachers.
I'm pleased to inform you that one of the challenges I've observed during my tour, which is the payroll system and omission of salaries of teachers, is already being addressed.
Now we are proud that at the end of each month and at a specific date, usually even before 25th, we get our salaries. So workers now plan because salaries are very, very stable.
Strengthen school security in collaboration with security agencies.
The Safe School initiative has really paid off in the state. Recently, one of the schools in the state was attacked, but because of the deployment of the Civil Defense Corps members on ground, the attempt to kidnap the school children was prevented.
Governor Alia's administration has prioritized infrastructure as a cornerstone for educational development. To this end, the administration has, within the past 1 year of Dr. Grace Adagba's stewardship at Subeb, successfully executed the following. 1. Construction of modern classrooms, digital and non-digital libraries, toilets and boreholes. 2. Renovation and rehabilitation of existing schools. As soon as contractors began mobilizing to site and project execution hit advanced stages, the executive chairman, Dr. Grace Adagba, spared no time and effort to check and keep eagle eyes on contractors to ensure they stick to the terms of their contract. From the LGEA Ngadi layout in Makudi to Wurukum LGEA Primary School, the executive chairman, in company of the Universal Basic Education Commission State Coordinator, Mr. Idzi Baba Emmanuel, move around, asking questions and giving directions on how to keep to their terms of award. At Kanshul, the team inspects the one-story building, which is well in course, with the principal expressing joy at the new development at her school.
I appreciate the present governor, Ubek, and the Subeb for finding us worthy to bring such a project. We appreciate them, and we are praying that God should give them more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding so that they will do more for the people of Benue State and the society at large.
The team also visits the LGEA Primary School, Tionsha, on Naka Road, where perimeter fencing work is ongoing to secure the school from encroachment is being done.
On a scale of 5, we say that 4.7 of the contractors are on site and they are doing well, and we're expecting that they're going to meet up the deadline we've given them. We believe that by the time all these projects are completed, especially the story buildings, they're going to add value to the already existing structures. They're going to curtail the high population or enrollment that we're having right now.
The executive chairman and her management did a very, very good job in making sure that the companies that were pre-qualified and awarded the contracts are of standard and are reputable. Because so far we have gone round, and I am quite impressed with the level of work, the quality of work that I have seen in the projects we have gone round.
The inspection spilled into the next day as the team went from Taka to Boko to monitor what contractors on site are doing. Then proceeds to Vandikia, where they inspect more projects. The acting Toje Chira, His Royal Highness Nyongo Achiako, who shows the team around the projects in his domain, praises the Subeb executive chairman for awarding the perimeter fencing project of LGE in Bakunde and the supply of desks.
This is the first time I've ever seen schools being fenced. I thank God that the building I can see the specifications and the buildings. Very standard.
The executive chairman also extended the training to project desk officers, accounting staff and management staff of Subeb with the EFCC and ICPC, both lead agencies for anti-corruption, speaking to participants on what to do and how to avoid fraud in the implementation and management of the funds committed to the new one-story building project by both the federal and state governments.
Public Procurement Act of 2007 has actually spelled out what is expected of the entities awarding contracts, entities supervising, the entities administering all these things. So because we follow the money and we want to make sure that the public is protected, there is need for transparency, there is need for probity, there is need for accountability. We make sure that these things are done the way they should be done.
So our involvement here is to tell the participants about their role in terms of transparency, in terms of competition, in terms of fairness in contract award, contract implementations, monitoring of contracts, so that at the end of the day, you have what? The value for money and the fitness for purpose.
The purpose of this workshop, for example, is to ensure that everyone that is handling our project in the contract award should have the knowledge, the capacity to run the process.
Transform the Subeb headquarters with significant improvements such as construction of a new office complex for the executive chairman, remodeling of 7 office blocks, and establishment of a digital resource center equipped with over 30 computers, solar power, and internet services. Provision of a borehole for safe water supply. Refurbishment of over 10 vehicles and landscaping of the premises, including fencing for enhanced security. It is worthy of note that the administration has so far secured 3 years matching grants, resulting in the handover of over 100 school project sites to contractors, which are at various levels of completion.
If I have taken time to study past records, I have compared our records with the neighboring states and other states in Nigeria, you will discover that Benue State is the only state that have advertised projects with coordinates and locations. And we have done that to show you how transparent we are in the process, to prove to you that contracts awarded this time are going to be carried out and not for fashion show.
What we witnessed today is way better than what has been in the past. And I want to commend the board for the transparency so far. I am glad that what we are having now is way better than what has been the convention. It is a sign that we are growing and that we can actually have it better.
We ultimately want to have a very, very qualitative process where the projects, whether constructions, whether supply, whether renovation, we want to see that at the end of the day, the Benue child and the Benue people are not shortchanged.
Let me begin by saying that from the class where I come from,
Governor Ali's administration has championed initiatives to improve enrollment and inclusivity, increased enrollment in public schools through statewide advocacy campaigns.
There is a need for us to enroll more children. These early childhood centers we are talking about in public schools are an equivalent of nursery schools in the private schools. Government has a concern to enroll children at a very tender age.
I'm assuring you that all the support that you give from the traditional ruler will be given to you and entire support. Thank you so much.
We observe with dismay that despite the efforts of the state and federal government to ensure that our pupils and our wards gain access to free and compulsory education, if you go around some of our basic schools, you will still see that we have the basic infrastructure, we have qualified teachers, we have the best facilities in the state as we speak, yet we don't have enrollment, we don't have pupils utilizing these facilities.
Education is, in fact, the best you can bequeath your children. And not just education, but the best one, a quality education, which our state governor and his team have come to deliver. So what more do we have to say than to say thank you?
The campaign culminates with a visit to the Totiv, His Royal Majesty, Professor James Otesi Uzwa Ayatse, the Tiv paramount ruler, chairman of the Benue State Council of Chiefs, and the foremost educationist who had the rare privilege of heading 2 federal universities as vice-chancellor at different stages of their growth. The Totiv hails Dr. Grace Adagba for her insights in shaping the basic education sector as she lays out her plans for further growth.
Our primary education has suffered serious setbacks, and that is what you've been brought to correct. I can tell you offhand that you will see huge, large schools with physical teachers that will not match the population of the pupils. Physical population of teachers will be so small, but the pupil population will be astronomical. That's the challenge.
We've come to receive royal blessings from the King, from our Father, and to seek his support to support us in doing this job, as we're aware that the job of basic education is the job of the grassroots, and you cannot do anything in the grassroots without the traditional rulers. So we've come to seek his royal blessing and to seek his support to help us cascade the business of basic education through the traditional council down to the grassroots chiefs, so that they can be involved as critical stakeholders in the game.
Revived nursery sections in public primary schools. Promoted girl-child education in 13 nomadic communities across the state. Reduced the number of out-of-school children through community engagement programs. Reintroduce school farms under the Agricultural Education Training Program, AETP, to blend learning with practical skills.
Before they have yam and cassava only, but with the coming of the executive chairman, Dr. Grace Adagba, she said we can't be dependent on one part of the farming. So we include different type of enterprises, such as cassava, rabbits, grass cutter, goat rearing, pig rearing, and snail farming.
Governor Alia has placed a strong emphasis on academic excellence and innovation. Introduced computer-based learning at UBEC Model Smart School, Makadi.
The class is divided, and half of the class have their tablets. When they are done, they will switch the tablets to the other side for the second side of the rotation. And the people who are from their conventional schools and where they came from, they feel more better and they are adapting and learning very fast.
We already marked out about 11 pilot schools to be upgraded to the status of a smart school in the next action plan.
To national and international competitions, achieving notable results. Victory in the bilateral debate in Indonesia. Second place in the President's Schools Debate Nigeria. Fourth place in the National Jet Squeeze competition.
Today, I want to welcome you all to this wonderful occasion of presentation of the trophy that is won by our own students. It may interest you to know that these students are from our public schools. And I want to encourage all of us
to enhance the quality of education delivery. Governor Alia facilitated training programs for head teachers, ECCDE caregivers, technical staff, and media personnel.
We were actually taught on how to use microphone, how to handle the microphone, how to go into the field, gather news, and then report. Try to be as concise and as brief as possible while letting out all of the information to the public.
Specialized training for school support officers to improve school monitoring. The outstanding achievements of the Executive Governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Yumem Alia, has attracted national recognition, resulting in prestigious awards presented to her for outstanding performance. These awards include Distinguished Grassroots Leadership Award from the Presidency, Best Subeb in ICT Integration by the Bureau of Public Service Reforms, GovTech Trailblazer Award by the Bureau of Public Service Reforms, Best Subeb Chairman in North Central Nigeria by PSDN, Trailblazer Award for Educational Leadership by the Chartered Institute of Management and Leadership.
The first thing we did in ICT integration was to block financial leakages by carrying out a comprehensive staff audit of verification. We've also done a couple of things in the ICT department. We've ensured that our teachers are being monitored. We have a kind of a workflow chain that we're able to monitor what is happening in our schools.
As part of the governor's efforts to improve space science and astronomy in the State Universal Basic Education Board, Subeb, in collaboration with the Center for Basic Space Science, CBSS, and the Astronomical Society of Nigeria, ASN, carried out a space and astronomy outreach program in basic schools across the state through the Catch Them Young project. The executive chairman's dedication to space science and astronomy over the years earned her a fellowship in the society.
For you to become a space physicist or a space scientist or an astronomist, you need to pass all your science subjects.
You compare our size in Nigeria, over 220 million people, but we do not have up to 1,000 astronomers. We don't even have up to 500 astronomers, professional ones, right now in Nigeria. So it's a big deficiency. We have been doing outreach programs like the ones we'll be doing this afternoon to encourage people into the field.
Activities to mark the 1 year in office by the executive chairman of Subeb begins with education stakeholders who converge to take stock of the reforms introduced in basic education in the last 1 year. Among them are members of the State Executive Council, Subeb chairman from Nasarawa State and the FCT, who are thrilled by the debate and science quiz sessions from select basic education schools in Benue State. Debates center on whether public schools are better positioned for students than private schools, as the teams dig out in the thrilling encounter. Impressed by their command of public speaking, the state coordinator of Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC, and other guests say education is the key to so many social vices plaguing the nation.
The essence of this is to build their reasoning, their critical thinking, and to sharpen their confidence in English. I want you to imbibe the culture of reading. What did I say? The culture of reading.
Fundamental education has solution to our problem. To be candid, what education can do, bullets cannot do it. That's the truth. If we don't educate our children, then we should be ready to modern sleep. The only solution is ensure that we eradicate out of school children. Otherwise, Benue State, about 2 years ago, talk about insecurity, but thank God to this day, I don't hear about classes again.
This is the first time in the history of Benue State that minimum wage is pronounced, is implemented and paid, not on paper. Teachers can confirm that here. This is the first time in Benue State. So he deserves a round of applause. This is also the first time that a sitting governor has released consecutively 3 years of marching grant. I'm also impressed too that it's the first time that we are seeing story buildings being built in public schools in Benue State.
The ceremony culminates in the commissioning of the remodeled Father Alia multi-purpose hall at Subeb headquarters by Governor Hyacinth Alia. Represented by his deputy, Barrister Sam Ode, Governor Alia restates his commitment to revamp public education in Benue State.
One thing that has become a constant variable and which fact is unassailable is that the governor of Benue State, His Excellency Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Yomem Alia, knows how to headhunt the right people to put them in the right sectors to work for Benue people. And Dr. Grace Adagba is one of them. It is heartwarming that you are responding to the good work that this administration is doing. You are giving us your cooperation. You are helping us to know that we are doing well. And indeed, we are enthused by your commendation and your support. We will continue to serve you, for that is the reason for which we were voted into office.
First of all, we came on board. We made this place as completely a dead place. But with the support of the governor, we were able to carry out a comprehensive staff audit and verification exercise, which enabled us to centralize the entire payroll of the state. At the end of that, we were able to remodel the whole of this. It's like a total overhaul of the premises, as you can see yourself. We now have a clean, conducive environment, solar powered. We don't need NEPA light in this place to run our business of the day. We have uninterrupted power supply because of the solar that is over 120 kVA solar power that is provided. We have supplied water to the place. We have borehole under sanitation and other numerous projects ongoing. Some are already completed.
We are a publishing company and we focus on education. So in trying to work with the Subeb chairman to improve on education, this is our own way of supporting her through our CSR. And as I said, we're also contributing 10,000 notebooks for students. She's really doing a very good job. She's doing very wonderful. I mean, in 1 year, look at all the achievements she has done. So this is like a continuous thing, working with her, partnering with her to ensure that students in Benue State get the best.
These achievements of the governor's purposeful and focused leadership under the stewardship of Dr. Grace Adagba demonstrated Governor Hyacinth Yomem Alia's unwavering dedication to revitalizing the basic education sector in Benue State and fostering a brighter future for the children of the state.